But I'm going to actually make a gel here. I'm going to mix two chemicals here. You have the precursors in it to make silicon dioxide gel. I'm going to get my gloves on. So what I'm doing here, one of these, it's a solvent. Most of this is ethanol. And it's got a silicate precursor in it. So I pour that in to my Erlenmeyer flask here. And now we could let that sit there and nothing would happen. But I'm going to add the second reagent, which actually contains a catalyst as well as a little bit of water, which helps hydrolyze and cross-link these materials. Now I figured this out so it would take about a minute to gel. So you can see right now it's still a liquid. Good, we're getting a good view of it here. And I'll swirl it to show you that it is in fact a liquid. And in a moment here, you're going to start to see. So right now, we're at the initial phases. We're actually growing a sol. Believe me, we are. You can't see it. But pretty soon, you're going to see this start to change a bit. It's become a little opaque because those sol particles are now growing. And they're growing big enough that the light is starting to scatter them. And I'm going to set this down here for a second. Still have a view of it. Actually, maybe I'll lift it up. So this, and it's warming a slight amount. So what happens is that sol grows, and it'll grow. If it grows to a certain point, and we can arrest it, and it'll just be a solid in a liquid, so it'll still continue to be a liquid. But if those particles continue to grow, they actually then start attaching to one another. And they make spaghetti strands or strings of pearls. You'll see some of the cartoons I have here. And it'll firm up to a gel, and a gel is just, for here, it's a rigid structure, and it spans your container, so you can imagine this is real amenable to making molds. You can make all different types of shapes. You can see up here we've got cylinders, we've got a sphere, that type of thing. But it becomes a gel, and it becomes a rigid gel. And if I've done this right, when I turn it, nothing's going to spill on my hand. And there we go. So we made a gel. And these are essentially the first two steps in making an aerogel. Is to form the sol, which we did, and then cross-link the sol. And I knew how to do that based on experiments we've done in the past. I knew what types of chemicals we needed to add.